Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7. We're back with a track guide for this week's daily race C, driving at Daytona Road Course in the Group 1, Group C Mazda 787. So this is a limited race in terms of what cars you can select. You can only select the Group C cars, and we're driving the Mazda 787. We're on racing medium tyres, BOP on, and we are on default setup. So for this race, again, there is a few little gearing tricks that you can do to really gain you some time. And I'm very interested to find out if they will work in the race. I believe they will, because after watching the top 10 time, driven by Josetti, it instantly found me 0.4 of a second. And I'm going to point these tips out to you to help you lot out as well, because it is a massive, massive thing again. And it is kind of a little bit glitchy with this game, the way you do the shifting. We've seen it in the Subaru, we've seen it in the Golf, the way you miss out gears and you go down to very low gears, and it's very similar for this combination. So yeah, we're going to go through the guide, give you all the tips that I can to help you improve your qualifying time, and yeah, hopefully you can get yourself further up that leaderboard and start further up, because this combination is very tricky, so you want to start as high up as possible. So if you do like these videos, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comment section if this guide has helped you out, if it's managed to gain you some time. I love reading them comments, so yeah, let me know in the comments. So let's get this guide on the way and try and help you out as much as possible. Starting your lap, obviously. Now, I started my lap without obviously doing that lap to get a tiny bit of extra speed over the line, but it isn't really going to gain you that much time, if I'm brutally honest. So looking for your first braking reference, you're going to be looking for the warning board on the right hand side after the number 2 board. So you're going to see it there. There's your warning sign. That's what I use as a braking reference. Very easy to spot, and you just brake very fractionally after that board. You can see as you're working your way into this left hand corner. Now what you're going to see is I like to get very narrow to this apex, and you're going to go downshift to second gear. That's going to help rotate the car, and then back up to third gear as soon as you're off the brakes. That's so that when you get on the power, you're as smooth as possible. Now keep your eye on that throttle. We're not going to go instant 100%, because if you do that, you're going to rotate the car and spin out. Be very smooth with your throttle inputs all the way through this section, which is completely flat. Now into the next braking zone, I use that lamppost on the left hand side. It's very easy to spot, and it's always it's never going to move, so I always use that, as you see, pretty much level with it on the brakes. Try and brake earlier rather than later for this corner. Down second gear. Now watch the gearing. This is what I spotted with Josetti. You want to stay very narrow to the apex. So what you do as you're going into this corner, we're going to go to first gear, then miss out second gear, straight back up to third gear, because first gear gives you good rotation, then back up to third gear, keeps the car very close to the apex on the right hand side, and then back on the throttle as soon as you're on that apex. And again, very, very gentle on the throttle. You don't want to spin out on these corners, because this car's got so much power. It's very easy to do. But yeah, that is a really big tip. Keep your eye on that all the way through the lap, because it's going to gain you so much time. Now into the next braking zone. So through this one, you're going flat out. Sorry, there's no braking zone for this. This is completely flat out, and then into the next braking zone. I use the start of that tarmac on the left hand side as kind of a reference where you're going to brake. So as you approach that, you see onto the brakes, and again, this is always a good idea to brake early for this corner, because you're going to lose time if you brake too late. And again, keep your eye on that gearing on the right hand side there. You can see we're going to go down to first gear. Again, just as we're coming into trail braking, down to first gear, rotates the car, and again, straight back up to third gear. And again, you want to get this car squared off, and then on the throttle as early as possible, powering your way through the corner. And again, be careful on the throttle there, because you can easily snap the rear. Now into the next braking zone, we're going to use, again, I use the reference of the line across the track where that bit of tarmac goes to the right hand side, and you're going to brake just before that. You want to brake slightly earlier than that. You can see the braking inputs going in there nice and early, and we're going to go down to second gear for rotation, and then again back up to third gear before you get on the throttle. So down to second gear, and you want to take quite a narrow line through this left hand corner, so you can see we're going to really attack the curb on the left there. Keep the car tight. Now, what I found out is the tighter line you take here, it seems to gain you quite a lot of time in terms of lap time. So you can see I'm taking a very narrow line. Try not to run too far wide there, because it really loses you a lot of lap time. On the throttle again, up into third gear, obviously, before you get on that power. And again, be smooth on that throttle, because that is another corner where it's very easy to lose rear. Now, this is completely flat out all the way into the next braking reference. And again, this corner is where you're going to make or break your lap pretty much with the track limit. So again, I look out for that warning board again on the right hand side in between the 2 and 1 board. Very good reference point again, because it's never going to disappear. And we're going to get on the brakes pretty much dead on that, you see. As soon as we're level with it, we're on the brakes. And now you're going to aim to really attack this apex. You can take quite a lot of the corner off on this apex to the first part of this chicane. So again, as you're approaching in, you see, down to third gear, and you can really get over the curb on the left hand side. There's a lot of track limits available on this first part of the corner, and again, attack the second part. Again, you can use that curb. It doesn't really give you any track limit penalties. If you attack that, you're pretty much fine to use it all. Now this is where the tricky part starts. So you're going to see as we come into this corner, you're going to keep your eye on that throttle because we're going to gradually put the power in. But this there, you've got to keep your right hand tyre on the right hand side of that white line. Now I will be honest with you, it's very tricky and there is some weird consistency with the penalty system through that chicane, but you really need to keep your right hand tyre to the right hand side. If you don't, it's very likely you're going to pick up a penalty. Now this is completely flat out all the way down the straight. Just stay to the left hand side. Don't over rev this car. Also, you see I changed from 4th to 5th about 196 197 miles per hour over the line, and a 1 minute 28.6, which, considering I didn't spend too much time on this was very quickly after watching Josetti's lap, I instantly just found pace. So I think we should be able to get this lap time down to about a 28.3 at least, I think, because there is so much time to find with this gearing by going from first to third gear. So again, you can see it through here. You can see the rotation that first gear gives you, and then up to third gear, gradually on the throttle, really gives you good exit speed. So again, let's watch this lap again from the chase camera. You're going to see going into this corner up here, you're going to see with reference to that bit of tarmac on the left hand side, on the brakes, rotating it, second gear, first gear gives you that little bite of rotation, then straight back up to third gear, keeps in that car nice and smooth. And again, this line through here, pay attention to this because this is very important. This gains you about 2 tenths following this line, so very tight. Don't let the car run out to the curb. Keep it narrow into the apex. On the throttle, there's loads of grip there as well. That narrow line tends to have a bit more grip on the track for some reason, which then enables you to get on the throttle quite early, so you gain 2 tenths by just taking that line. Now again, watch it through here. You can see how we're going to attack the curves, and watch how we stay on the brakes for the first 2 parts of the apex. So again, on the brakes for this part, and you're still on the brake again there. And now we're going to come off the brake, and it's all about throttle. And again, you just see that right hand tyre just about staying to the right hand side of that white line. That is the key to the lap. So make sure you keep to the right there. You should avoid a penalty, but it is a little bit inconsistent, the track limit penalties on this track. But hopefully this guide will help you improve your lap time, help you go a little bit faster. And yeah, let me know in the comments if it does. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well, and I'll see you for more videos and live streams in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.